What's up, guys? I'm back with another video, and today I will be starting a new series on my channel, redrafting all the drafts in 2010s. I'm excited to get into this series because there's a lot of great players that have been drafted in the 2010s and a lot of steals that will go way higher in my videos. So please like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. With the number 1 pick in this draft, the Washington Wizards picked John Wall in the original draft. He's been a great player for the Wizards, but he has been very injury prone the last couple years, so that's why I don't have him at number 1. But he still had a great career, and he'll be coming up very, very soon. The new player I have instead of John Wall is Paul George. George was selected with the 10th pick in the real draft to the Indiana Pacers, but this time around, I have him as the first pick in the NBA draft. In his career, he's earned 6 All-Star appearances, 5 All-NBA selections, 4 All-Defensive selections, and has made the Eastern Conference Finals with the Pacers. Those Pacer teams were really fun to watch, and I like them going head-to-head with the Heat, but just couldn't get over that monster. In the 2018-19 season, he got third in MVP voting as he averaged 28 points, 8.2 rebounds, 4.1 assists, and 2.2 steals. As he was the steals leader that year, and in his career, he has been averaging 21 points, 5.7 rebounds, 3.9 assists, and 1.7 steals. With the number 2 pick in this draft, the Philadelphia 76ers in the original draft selected Evan Turner. Turner has been a decent player in his career, playing for 10 years and being a good role player, but he didn't live up to being the 2nd overall pick. The new player I have is John Wall. Wall was the first pick in the original draft, and I have him as the 2nd pick in my redraft. Wall earned 5 All-Star appearances and an All-NBA team appearance and 1 All-NBA defensive team appearance. He has not made it to a conference finals, and you can see the difference in resume with Wall and George. That's why I have Wall under George, because 1, he hasn't made it to Western Conference Finals. He doesn't have as many All-NBA appearances or All-Star appearances. Wall's peak season was when he averaged 23.1 points, 10.7 rebounds, and 2 steals. So Wall's peak, he was a top 3-point guard in the league, arguably. And throughout his whole career, he has been averaging 19 points, 4.3 rebounds, 9.2 assists, and 1.7 steals. With the 3rd pick in this draft, the New Jersey Nets select Derek Favors in the original draft. Favors has been a solid center/power forward basically his whole career. He's had a decent career, but it wasn't 3rd pick worthy. The new player I have is DeMarcus Cousins. Cousins was selected with the 5th pick in the original draft, but I think the reason why he was the 5th pick is because of the antics he got into at Kentucky. In the NBA, Cousins has been a walking double-double his entire career, but the reason why I have Cousins behind Wall is because he hasn't had much success in the playoffs, earning a finals appearance, but he didn't play in any of the rounds before that, and he only played 30 games during the regular season. Honestly, he was really carried during that season. Cousins has earned 4 All-Star appearances, 2 All-NBA selections, and no All-NBA defensive selections. In Cousins' peak season, which I think was a 2017-18 season with the New Orleans Pelicans and Anthony Davis, he averaged 25.2 points, 12.9 rebounds, 5.4 assists, and 1.6 steals and blocks. And before he tore his Achilles, he was an all-star starter, and that team would have made the playoffs. Also, in his career, his averages is 21.2 points, 10.9 rebounds, 3.2 assists, 1.4 steals, and 1.2 blocks. With the number 4 pick, the Minnesota Timberwolves in the original draft selected Wesley Johnson. Johnson became a huge bust, but coming into the draft, he was viewed as a very athletic prospect that had promise. But he didn't live close to the expectations that was given to him coming into his career. The new player I have is Gordon Hayward. Hayward was the 9th pick and has had an interesting career. He improved every year in Utah. then signed with the Boston Celtics, and the first game of the season, he broke his ankle. That was a major step back, and then after that season, and then a season of rehab, he had a very below average year, only averaging 11 points that year. Gordon Hayward has one All-Star selection and has not made a conference finals. I think his peak year was when he averaged 21.9 points, 5.4 rebounds, 3.5 assists on good shooting splits. That's pretty decent for the number 4 pick in the draft, that being his peak season. For his career, he has been averaging 15.3 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. So he has had a decent career, and that is a great value for the number 4 pick coming back with 2020 vision in my redraft. I'm now at the number 5 pick. With the number 5 pick, the Sacramento Kings selected DeMarcus Cousins in their original draft. The only reason Cousins fell to 5th was some of the antics he got into college. But now I have him as the 3rd pick in my redraft, and I really hope he gets back on the court in a couple years, because he's had some of the worst luck in the last couple years. My new player I have is Eric Bledsoe. Bledsoe was the 18th pick in the original draft, and he's had a decent career. He's a very solid starting point guard in this league, and he is good on both sides of the ball. He's the starting point guard on the best team in the league, so that has to count for something right now. I feel like his peak season was when he averaged 21.1 points, 4.8 rebounds, 6.3 assists, and 1.4 steals in the 2016-2017 season with the Suns. Bledsoe's career averages are 14.2 points, 4.0 rebounds, and 4.8 assists. Some of his accolades is that he made the All-NBA defensive team in 2018 and 19, and he has one Western Conference Finals appearance, so that's why I have him at number 5 in this redraft. And at the number 6 pick, the Golden State Warriors selected Ekpe Udoh with the original pick. In my opinion, Ekpe Udoh is the biggest bust on this list for original picks. He averaged 5.6 points and 4.2 rebounds as his peak season. That's his best season. For the 6th pick, that is bust material. The new player I have is Hassan Whiteside. Whiteside was a 2nd-round pick, 33rd overall, and has had an up-and-down career. He played 2 seasons with the Kings and barely got on the court with the real team. He mostly played in the G League. Then has 5 decent years with the Heat, but then gets traded away because of an up-and-coming Bam Adebayo. And now he's a decent 3rd option on the Portland Trailblazers. Whiteside's accolades consist of one-time All-Defensive Team in 2016-2017, and rebounding champ, and the block champ in 2015-2016. Whiteside's peak season, in my opinion, is the 2016-2017 season with the Heat, when he averaged 17 points, 14.1 rebounds, and 2.1 blocks per game. Whiteside's career averages was 13.8 points, 11.8 rebounds, and 2.4 blocks per game. That's why I have him at the number 6 pick. With the number 7 pick, the Detroit Pistons in the original draft selected Greg Monroe. Greg Monroe had a decent career and won't be much lower in my redraft. But I feel like I have him a little bit lower because I feel like he had decent stats, but he never produced them to winning in his prime. As he only made the Eastern Conference Finals once, but he made that Eastern Conference Finals with the Bucks, and he was a bench roamer. He barely even got into the game. The new player I have for the 7th spot in my redraft is Derek Favors. Favors was the 3rd overall pick originally, but I have him as the 7th overall pick in my redraft. Favors has just been has had a solid career, playing 9 seasons with the Jazz, then 1 season with the Pelicans. Favors doesn't have any accolades, but like I said, he's just had a solid career. I feel like Favors' peak season was the 2015-2016 season, when he averaged 16.4 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks per game. His career averages are 11.4 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 1.3 blocks per game. With the 8th pick, the Los Angeles Clippers selected Al-Farouq Aminu in the original draft. Amino has been a decent, versatile defender and has made it to the Western Conference Finals with the Blazers as a very important piece. But I don't think he's had the 8th best career in this draft class. My new player is Avery Bradley. Bradley was the 19th overall pick originally, but now I feel like he's been the 8th best player in the class. Bradley has been a decent 3-and-D player throughout his career and has been on winning teams a decent amount throughout his career. Bradley has been selected to 2 All-NBA defensive teams and has made 1 Eastern Conference Final appearance. Bradley's peak season was the 2016-2017 season, in my opinion. That's when he averaged 16.3 points, 6.1 rebounds, 2.2 assists, and 1.2 steals per game. And his career averages are 11.8 points, 2.9 rebounds, and 1.8 assists per game with 1 steal per game. With the 9th pick, the Utah Jazz selected Gordon Hayward in the original draft. The Jazz got good value with getting Hayward at 9, as in the redraft, he was the 4th overall pick and played great for the Jazz when he was with them. The new player I have at 9 is Greg Monroe. Monroe was the 7th pick in the original draft, but now he's 2 spots lower in my redraft. He put up decent stats in his prime, but he doesn't have the winning to go along with it. His peak season was the 2014-2015 season when he averaged 15.9 points, 10.2 rebounds, and 2.1 assists. And his career averages were 13.8 points, 8.3 rebounds, and 2.1 assists. His career was cut shorter than some of the people higher than him, and that's why I have him a little bit lower. But he still was a walking double-double in his prime, so that's why he's in this redraft top 10. With the last pick, the number 10 pick, the Indiana Pacers went with Paul George originally. The Pacers got amazing value with drafting George at the 10th pick, as he's the number 1 pick in my redraft. So the Pacers did amazing with that pick. I have Evan Turner at the 10th pick now. He's been disappointing as a number 2 pick, but I feel like he still has been a decent role player / starter and has been a great passer, good passer his whole entire career. Evan Turner has been to 2 conference finals during his career, and in my opinion, his peak season was the 2012-2013 season, as he averaged 13.3 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 4.3 assists per game. And his career averages were 9.7 points, 4.6 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per game. So he's been a decent fringe starter / role player during his career, and is really decent on both sides of the ball. What's up, guys? That's all I got for you guys today. Please like and subscribe on this video, and check out my mock draft video and my top 50 video that I've posted the last couple weeks. Also, Dacian Nix just signed with the G League, so if you want to go mess with my G League video that I dropped with Jalen Green a couple weeks ago, go watch that as well. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers. I have 87 right now, so please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.